welcome to what is episode 3? Again, Josh is still here in the UK. Obviously, we record this on the same day as the previous episode. May as well make use while he's here of the time we've got. So today we just thought about a few little other bits. Branding, as in the branding of your own company. Why do you think it's important and that sort of thing? So, I mean, what do you think about, obviously, because you call yourself, obviously, you're going by your name.
Yeah. I come about that from Gary Vee. I've moved sort of into the personal brand, just so when, I do step over into something else, eventually, my name is sort of known. So that's where I was going with that
makes sense.
sort of direction. And branding's everything. So what was it? There was a saying. You don't need, if you got good branding, you don't need to sell. Like, Nike trainers. That swoosh is worth $100 billion essentially, and you buy it because of the brand.
You know what the symbol, who it is.
You know exactly what you're getting compared to, Toolwise, Festool, Ozito, totally different. Tool brands, obviously aiming at different consumers, but yeah, branding everything, and I try and do it. It's the same across all platforms. And I try and add little bits there as I'm going, as I've been only started 6 months ago. Add it to your invoice, add it to, everything. Like you started doing you've got your little...
I've got the little makers. I think they're a little bit small for the camera.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing something like that.
So we have these... That's not picking it up. So we have these little makers markers. Made by Smelly Cat Creations. I found him via his Instagram page. Again, anyone we do talk about, we will link all their social media pages in the description down below. So I've started doing that on my drawers. I've also had some other ones which have got sequential numbers on.
Yeah.
So when I make a piece of furniture, 001,
great
002, and so forth. My t-shirts are all logoed with my name.
Yeah, excellent.
On the back, with my logo, etc. I have ordered some new t-shirts which will have the branding on the chest, because obviously it's no good when you're camera facing and your branding's on your back. So these t-shirts were originally my work t-shirts for going to fit it out at clients, out on the site, so to speak. I have jackets with it, my van's got it on the back doors. The invoices have the same logo on. I think it's quite important to have the persistence of, of the logo, of your company name. Because, I mean, again, I'm just a one-man band like yourself, it's me, myself and I. But, I've got other people's names on my sleeves because of deals and etc. But when I do that job, I'm putting my name to that job.
Yeah, shows reputation.
I don't turn up to work covered in crap either. I think it looks so unprofessional. I always go in fairly
half-decent
clean pants.
Yeah,
you're always going to get a bit of glue on your worktops. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
We can't stay immaculate.
Yeah.
But then when I go to quote for a job, I'll wear a polo shirt with my brand name on.
Yeah.
They have a business card with my logo on.
Yeah.
It's all about, from the start to finish,
you pull up in your van that's got the sign written on.
This is me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it's like in Australia, but a lot of people there, I've been having a conversation with someone on via Facebook today.
Yeah.
So and so's gone round an absolute mess of a job. On the, they've just messed it up because they've picked up a hammer, probably in COVID, like a lot of people in Liverpool did, and indeed across the UK. Picked up a hammer, picked up a chisel, and said, "I'm a joiner." No, you're not. No, I'm not saying you have to be qualified to be able to do woodwork.
I guess that did happen. I haven't thought about that.
But there's just so many people, and you're like, they're turning up. I mean, and you're like, what is that? And people say, oh, it only takes you a day. Well, no, it takes me a day because I've got 25 years experience.
Yeah, there was someone on site. He was like a 45-year-old Asian, and he was in the stone business for a long time, and then he was just done a set of stairs for us on our job we was on, and they ended up getting rid of him after 2 days. He didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't worth the labour hire money.
No.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. A lot of people did become multi-skilled in there.
Yeah, I mean, I do bits of plumbing. I don't say I'm a plumber. You know, I can plaster a bit. I don't say I'm a plasterer. I mean, I do get obviously a plasterer or plumber in when I'm doing a job for a client.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about my own stuff in my own house that I may do a bit of because, well, it's good enough for what I'm happy with. But as far as obviously liabilities and professionalism goes, I always get an outside company in to do those sort of aspects. But, you know, I turn up to a job to fit a kitchen, say with 10 grand's worth of kit. Because, alright, overpriced because mine's Festool. You know, it's expensive gear. But, you know,
You've been doing it 20 years, though.
Yeah, I just don't turn up and expect, say, I'm a joiner. And again, especially, I mean, it really opened up my eyes in this last, I don't know, 6 to 8 months, you know, of doing the social media aspect of things. The amount of people that are totally, on paper, unskilled.
Yeah.
You know, using the quotation marks there. And yet the work they knock out, it puts some of the stuff I can do to shame. You don't have to have that piece of paper to say you can do something. You don't need that.
No, I've never had it.
You know, your proof's in your work. But yeah, there's just so far many people. And again, that's why, you know, people turn up and they say, you know, I'm joining. What's your company name? Oh, I haven't got. And they turn up in a Nissan Micra. Like, no, you know.
This is what sets you apart. That's
what I mean about the branding.
People have been getting into in Australia the digital business cards now from you on your phone, which is something I've been looking into. I need to get a part of.
I mean, I find it funny as well, because sometimes I do go with the girlfriend's car to the job to look out, because obviously with having an extra long wheelbase van, it can be a bit tricky sometimes. Parking. So, you know, especially, you know, it's of an evening or whatever, some of the roads can be quite tight around here. Yeah. And so I go in the car, people are like, you know, where's your van? Oh, no, I have got a van, it's at home.
Do you want to see a picture?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, but so I do think
they expect to see that.
You walk in, hello Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith or whatever. Yeah. Here's my card, and you've got the logo on your back because I'm wearing a jacket on my polo shirt. To me, you know, you turn up in neat clothes.
And your invoice is done as well.
No, I'd always I always do a quotation first, because otherwise it's classed as cold calling. Because you've got to do a quotation, leave it 10 days, then you can invoice, and then.
Oh, you're really into the politics of it, right?
I don't want to be, but unfortunately, there's too many clients.
You've been burnt too many times.
There's been a few recently. They just think they can get away with absolute ludicrous claims or stuff, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's all in the paperwork. It's there.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realise. Well, it's not my fault you don't read something.
Yeah.
It's on the terms and conditions of the invoice. They're all set there in stone for this very reason. I mean, the terms and conditions aren't just to protect myself as a business. They are to protect the clients as well.
Absolutely.
Because if there's no invoice, there's no insurance.
No. And
this is another thing a lot of people don't realise when they'll get, oh, so-and-so round the corner can do it for 30 quid when you wanted 50 quid, say, for example. Yeah, but are they insured?
Yeah.
No.
No.
That's the difference.
Yeah,
the overheads.
Accident. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, insurance is something like, I think business insurance, because I'm only small, so, you know, it's not a lot compared to some people. Still £50 a month. And then you've got, obviously, your van insurance, and like everyone else does, you know that. But with all that, you know, people don't have, you know, Bob can do it for 30 quid. Well, let Bob do it for 30 quid.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm not into that, and I do believe that brand, you know, you're selling yourself.
Yeah.
So every time you go to look at a job, effectively it's an interview.
Yeah.
You're not only are you trying to gauge the client to make sure, yes, they will pay, yes, they're going to be all right, blah, 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 blah. You're also pitching yourself for them to employ you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing with being self-employed, you know.
And going with the more branded, more reputable person, it leads into the next point. They're gonna have better business relationships with a lot of people who are just, you know, cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, it has happened to me quite a few times recently where I've been sent a picture. I mean, we know a lot of clients use Pinterest or whatever for can you do this sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to get their ideas from somewhere. I appreciate that. But quite often I actually get sent pictures of local tradesmen who I know.
Yeah.
Of their work.
Yeah.
So the first thing I actually do is I contact that tradesman.
Yeah.
And say, did you quote for blah blah blah?
Yeah.
At such a address. I don't give the full address. I just say the rough area.
Yeah.
And like the idea, because obviously I can't give the customer's details out because of GDPR and all that
Right.
rubbish as well. But you know, when I recognise a picture and it hasn't got they've just done a screenshot and cropped off all the details, I recognise that person's work.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to go and check. And when I've spoke to the client, they've said, "Yeah, go ahead." One of the jobs, yeah, go ahead. It's not a problem. It's not exactly the same sort of spec job. Blah blah blah. Go ahead and do it. So I've done the job. Looks amazing, and you know, I even said to the client, I said, "Oh yeah, I spoke to such and such a company." Like, what? And they looked so shocked. Well, I knew whose work it was. I knew the customer said, "We all speak to each other." You know, and you only get that though if you've not, you know, been up for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in this area, I think it's about 8 years now, so not a long time by, you know, some standards.
But you know everyone who operates.
I know everyone that has the reputable and the decent joiners.
Yeah.
In the area.
They're going to be doing the high.
And likewise, if we have a problem customer, for whatever reason, we share that information.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah. Well, we don't want each other to get burnt as well because it's not good for us.
Yeah.
And that goes back to, like, as I say, we ask each other.
Yeah.
Because we don't step on each other's toes. It's not good to step on another business's toes in your own area.
No way.
It's not professional. It's not clever, and it come back to bite you. But by us talking to each other,
and a lot of people will do that for the 500 quid, £2,000. They will burn a reputation for that little bit of money, and then you think, why would we done that? There's now the business we could have done together down the road. You're never going to get.
I mean, we've had it. I mean, I've had it, a few times. It's like, well, it's all very easy for clients to badmouth the company, and that's it. Your name's in mud for just by one false allegation. Oh, it can be a false allegation.
It's
or
funny
whatever.
how humans will act over money. They can go.
But no,
wild.
in this area, we all share details.
That's good.
To make sure, because you look after each other. Because I pass work to other companies and they pass work to me.
Yeah.
We all pass work to each other. Yeah. As well as.
Sometimes you'll be too busy and then you'll say, look, oh no, take this job because I can't do it.
Sometimes jobs have been too big for me to take on. Like I have, you've seen the size of my workshop. I haven't got that room to make that 10-metre wardrobe in my workshop.
Yeah.
And then so it's not always feasible for me to do some stuff. And again, I think that also helps you say again a little bit one step further is about using local suppliers because obviously different companies in Australia to the UK, but your likes of your big DIY superstores and all that, you might get on great with all the staff there. They might be lovely. I'm not saying them no, but at the end of the day, those companies don't really care about you because
you're just a pound sign.
You're just a pound to thousands of pounds take every day. You go and use a local company whose business it is, and you keep going back to them.
Repeat business and the relationship.
They look after you. I only found out about the timber yard that we've been using for our builds about maybe a year ago. And the service I get and the prices I get off them is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And
it's all proper nice wood, really good. He'll do anything for you. That's PB Hardwoods over in Liverpool, by the way. Connor's absolutely brilliant. He's given me a load of ash for a charity project I'm doing with another maker as a collaboration. Yeah. Free of charge, not bothered.
Good man.
Just, bring our name into it. Yeah. And again, because you've got that thing, if you have a problem like, oh, mate, like he was running he's got a 4-sided planer. Mate, I really need another piece of oak. Right, okay. So he stops what he's doing and does my piece of oak for me.
Oh, good man.
And it's because I'm a small fry customer for him. He sells oak by the container full.
Oh, bloody hell.
By the HGV full.
Yeah.
I mean, what 2 or 3 pieces here and there. But because I'm going to keep going back to him every time.
Yeah, you build up that rapport.
And the small man will be more expensive because they don't get the bulk discounts. Yeah. Or some, your DIY local hardware stores.
Yeah.
But I bet you what, generally, it's not always the case, but generally you get better service.
You'll end up getting jobs from him down the road though, wouldn't you? Or, so-and-so's put me through, or so-and-so let me know you could do...
I'll get, no doubt in my mind, I'll get past work from there.
Yeah, 100%.
And I do think it's really important. I mean, and again, that sort of leads on to the importance of networking within that by using small businesses and your social media and talking to small other businesses that are in the same field as you, or not even the same field. You know, the plumbers and the gas fitters, the electricians, and all the other trades you may need on your job.
Yeah.
I think networking, it's not something I've done until recently, really.
Yeah, it's something that you're good at on social media, really good at. And neither have I. I've not really done too much networking before. It's always like, you know, everything's said by mouth. But now you're on social media, you've got access to the world, which is it's crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be speaking to you, say, 7 in the morning because it's evening in Australia. And then by lunchtime, I'm speaking to the States because they're getting up for the day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I literally speak to a lot of people in the States, and obviously yourself in Australia. I speak to quite a few people in Europe. Obviously, there's not a lot of time difference there.
No.
But also, not just that, I think within your own community, like woodworking community, I mean, I am now, as you know, I am an actual official brand ambassador for Rubio Monocoat. But even before that, when I wasn't, I used to get a lot of inquiries about how do I use it? And
oh, really?
Yeah, and I've probably had a couple of dozen of video calls with just people that have seen my posts on and reached out to me via Instagram or Facebook. Can you help me with this? Yeah, of course I'll give you some help.
Yeah.
And you know, they're wanting to learn about something, so I'll teach them what I know, so to speak.
Yeah. Because
we all learn by other people teaching us stuff.
And that will come back full circle. Someone will go, oh, you had a Zoom call with so and so 2 years ago, and they want this thing built, and the next thing you're flying out to bloody, you know, Spain to build something. Yeah, I'll fly you out. I've seen your work. It all comes full circle.
I think, especially now in this day and age, with the way things are, I think the networking is really, really important.
Yeah.
Between the businesses, I mean, I'm not saying it's not so much with clients networking. I'm talking about like ourselves networking. You know.
B2B, business to business. Yeah, I always struggled with it before social media, and I was like, how do you network? It's always the going, the shaking hands, the emails, the meeting people, the phone calls. But now, you know, networking is social media.
It is.
It really is. But apart from the old school, hi, how you doing?
Oh, absolutely. You still got to do certain things in certain ways with certain people or businesses or whatever. But the way social media is changing the job almost to a point, and certainly with us going down this content creation journey, and you know, of course, content creating is social media effectively to a point. So you've got to do it. You know, you've got to put yourself out there, I think. And as you know, I've just literally dropped people messages. First person was Michael Allen when I was doing some pattern ply work, and I thought, yeah, he's never going to mention. You know, he's never going to get back to me. And sure enough, he did. Michael has been a great help with me on a few pieces, giving me some ideas, and he's always replied to messages, and that made me think, you know, oh, maybe people are a bit more accessible than what you think they are.
Everyone's accessible. I think it's pretty much, well, for me anyway, 95% of networking is done on social media.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
And I mean, I'd say, as I said to you, literally I've had a reply of all my messages over the last 8 months by one particular person.
Yeah.
And I think that's an amazing success rate.
99,
basically. You know what I mean? People that get back to you, and I mean, I'm likewise. Someone reply, even sometimes it's not something I'm interested in or anything like that. I will reply because I want someone to reply to me.
Yeah.
So I always reply to. I mean, someone asked me recently about, you know.
Yeah, you might not reply that day, but you'll get around to it eventually.
Yeah, I tend to be fairly quick on as much as I can do, but sometimes they go to like your other box or your junk mail, so you do miss them. I had one the other day.
Yeah.
Chap, in fact, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Do you want a new logo? I'm like, well, I don't at the minute actually, because we've got a new intro for the channel.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I've just had it done.
Yeah.
But I might do in the future, so let us know. Keep in contact because it will want doing in say 4 or 5 months for the main channel. So it's like, yeah, just thing. But you know, he was touting for business. But I always reply, not at the minute, but whatever.
From Instagram.
Yeah, he found me on Instagram.
Okay.
see if I wanted an intro from YouTube, but obviously I've had one done recently.
Yeah.
And he hadn't picked up on that, he hadn't seen it or whatever, you know. But the thing is, I liked his approach. Polite, nice, respectful.
Not trying to oversell.
No, so it's like, you know what?
This is what I do.
Bear said, drop us a message in a couple of months, mate.
Yeah.
Probably go down that route. But yeah, I found that a lot of people do respond. They do take the time out. You know, it's opened up a lot of doors for myself. I just messaged you on the ad hoc because we're going to start. I seen it on Instagram. Yeah. And here we are. I mean, how many thousand miles difference between us?
I don't know.
7,000 or 8,000 or something.
Oh, it's the other side of the world.
You know, Ian, still, you've come over, then you've taken the time out of your day to drive up here, so we could shoot some content in person together.
What's 3 hours when you're on the other side of the world?
Exactly.
I spent 24 hours flying.
It's just that sort of like, I think, you know, it's just that bit of effort, and it does take a bit of effort, and it does take a lot of time.
Yeah.
As we've said, so many times recently about social media, it's just, it can be draining, can be hard work, but I do think that if you put it in, with the filming that we've had and the conversations we've had over the last few months, I think it's really progressed, and I think we're going to learn a lot from each other.
Yeah.
You know, moving forward, and you know.
How many months are you in now?
From social media properly, about 6 months, I think now, maybe.
It just grows crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, I think you know, putting yourself as a brand, as a person, put yourself out there, and keep yourself across the same across all the platforms.
Yeah.
It's quite important.
Definitely important.
I think that's it. There's one other thing though before we wrap up this episode.
Oh, look at that!
Do you know
how long did that take?
So this is a little pat and ply clock with a logo of our new podcast channel. The hands are there. I'll give you the hands in a bit. I'm always, for those that obviously don't know, before we...
Was that for me?
Yeah, it's for you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Obviously you don't know that before every episode that we have filmed or every chat we do, we check each other's lighting and all that, make sure that everything looks okay for the video portion of things. And I'm always complaining about his wall behind him looking absolutely bare as hell. So
I've got something for it now.
I thought, do a nice little clock for the background.
Yeah, lovely. You have to show me how to put the hands on.
Oh, it's dead easy, mate. Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it'd be something nice for you to take back home with you.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much.
For your journey across.
Yeah, sweet.
Right, okay, everyone. Thanks very much for listening, watching, whatever it is. The next one will be we'll probably record again in a week or two.
I'll be on the other side of the world.
Yeah, so this could be the last time for quite some time. Yeah. Before we may even be in the same room, let alone continent together.
Who knows?
Yeah, alright, but again, thanks very much. See you later.
See ya.